I'm Ariane Herrera, Senior Associate Editor of Special Projects at the Journal of Commerce by S&P Global, and I'm here at TPM24 with Dylan Alperin, Vice President of Professional Services at Keelvar. Dylan, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Can automation lead to more ethical and sustainable sourcing practices, in your opinion?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, the ethical, the green sourcing is just one layer that I think people really struggled to manage in the past. It was already so hard just to execute all these different sourcing activities you had to do, to manage your transportation, to manage your procurement spend. To add this extra layer onto it was really challenging. And candidly, what we've seen, like the unfortunate reality is like the countries we saw where they had to, where it was legislated and they were forced to, yeah, they took action. They didn't have a choice. A lot of other places we saw people honestly not do it, right? So we were kind of left with this situation that, hey, we've got to choose what we can do. There's so much volume of work that has to be done. I can't do the sustainability piece. I can't go after greener suppliers. I can't make sure everything is as ethically sourced as I'd really like it to be. Was a challenge because of the amount of work, but also the amount of data that was out there. Like that was the second piece of the challenge was, how do I get all this data? How do I access all this data? How do I process all this data? Was impossible. Like that's why people weren't doing it. Like they physically couldn't. So now we're at the point where, okay, layering that into the technology, automating that piece of it, leveraging the AI to connect all these different pieces and start to tell you a story about what you're doing, to say, hey, this is how much it might cost. This is the transit time. This is the CO2 associated with it. These are the certificates we have around, ethical commitments from these suppliers. But yeah, like that's all stuff that everybody wants to do. Like everybody has wanted to do that. It was just so physically taxing in the past that we couldn't, right? So again, like that's the whole beauty of this automation that is coming to the market today now, again, that tactical work layer has been removed. We can focus on the more strategic stuff. We can focus on the stuff that's more interesting. We can focus on, supplier risk management. We can focus on making sure that we are getting ethical suppliers and that they have green supply chains and that we're actually being able to analyze that stuff. Because in the past, I used to do it. Like it took me months to do CO2 analysis on a supply chain. Mm-hmm. We were running big, giant network optimization models, factoring in every single different mode and the volumes and what the CO2 equivalent factors were based on the fuel types, and it took a long time. We got there, but by the time we did it, it was already 4 months later, and who knows how accurate it was anymore. Right. But now that's just like integrated into the daily process. Yeah. So we don't have to go through those big, massive exercises, those big, massive processes to understand. And I think this is an example just of the kind of things that we can unlock with AI, with automation, is that now that we're able to interpret and manage and analyze that data through the system, like let it do the heavy lifting for you. Like that's the beauty here, is you don't have to go and do that all. It can all be integrated. It can be part of your process naturally. So you're able to do that, right? This whole data component of it is such an important piece. So whether it's sustainability, whether it's diverse suppliers, like all these other things that we really struggled to manage in the past because it was another thing that we had to figure out. Mm-hmm. Again, now that can be automated. So like that's the way I see it literally working today. I have customers who have autonomous sourcing solutions that knows if you say, yes, this bid must include diverse suppliers, this bid must include green suppliers, it knows what suppliers to go to. So I don't have to go out and go to the yellow pages mm-hmm. and figure out like who the suppliers are that meet that criteria. The bot can already do that. Right. And that's the really powerful piece, is because, again, people in the field that might be executing those requests, they don't know how to do that. Like they're the people that are using this automation and that are executing buys in this way aren't buyers. Like they sit in your operational teams, they're on your sales teams, they have to buy something to do their job. Their job is not to do buying, right? So they don't know that process, they don't know that systems. So bringing that all to them at the forefront in an automated fashion really, really empowers them to make the right decisions, empowers your teams to have the right control of what's going on, and it just brings all this data together. So I think sustainability, ethical sourcing is one great example of what can happen there, and it's something that we need to tackle. So I think that's a great opportunity for automation.
Thank you for sitting down with me today, Dylan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I've been speaking with Dylan Alperin, Vice President of Professional Services at Keelvar.